Hey you guys, it's your girl Larissa Vaughn coming to you live from Beauty and Spirit TV. And as you guys know, we've been talking about decluttering your life, decluttering our lives. Um, so this week I wanted to talk to you guys about moving on, like it's time to move on. Um, I know a lot of people around me and just people I'm meeting with and people I interact with, people that I meet randomly, it seems like everybody's going through some type of transition in their life. It seems like everybody's moving on to a new phase. So I wanted to talk about this idea of moving on and basically as you're decluttering, you cannot bring old things into that new place where you're going. Have you ever heard this saying, like, everybody can't go where God's taking you? And that's so true. That is so true. You know, there are people in our lives, there are habits that we do, there are things that we do, things that we have sometimes in our life that can't really go to the same place that God is taking us. You know, it comes to a point in life where you have to just kind of get rid of those things. You have to stop doing those things. You have to kind of like put those people aside and be like, well, I can't really rock with you like that because you can't go where I'm going. It sucks sometimes, and it's not in an obnoxious way or anything like that. But I mean, that's how life goes sometimes. Sometimes you just can't really bring everybody with you because some people really aren't for you, and some people don't really belong in that particular season of your life. Have you ever heard the saying, like, people come into your life for a reason and a season? And yes, that's so true. Like, people do come into your life for a reason and a season. And when that season is up, a lot of people forget to let go of those people that were in their life for the season and that reason. So I just wanted to talk about um, us being on the receiving end of what God is giving us. And oftentimes we talk about how we're waiting on God to do this, we're waiting on God to do that. And in all actuality, God is waiting on us. We are on the receiving end with closed hands. You can't receive when your hands are not open. You can't receive when your heart's not open. You can't receive when your mind is not open. So if your mind is cluttered, your heart's cluttered, it's closed off, it's broken, it's full of pain, you haven't released things from your heart, how is it that you're going to be able to receive the things that you deeply desire? The things that you deeply desire in your heart and in your mind, the things that you pray for, the things that you hope for, everything that you want. How are you going to receive it if you are closed, if you're closed off by distractions or by things that have expired? Everything kind of has an expiration date. If you have someone in your life that is kind of taking the space of someone else, say you're talking to a guy, and you've been talking to a guy for a while, but you know that guy is not for you. He's not the one, or that girl is not the one. It's like, why is that person taking that spot of the person who really is the one? Like, what if the person who's the one is like ready, but their position is filled? Their position is somebody sitting in their seat. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you feel some type of way, if that was you, like, dang, somebody's in my seat though, so I just gotta wait till that person gets up. I mean, like, come on, like, if that's your assigned seat, That's your assigned seat. If somebody is sitting in your seat, what are you going to tell them to do? You going to tell them to get up? Or you just going to wait till they leave? I mean, I know some people that would tell them to get up. I mean, those are my kind of people. And, you got to ask for what you want. You got to be like, hey, this is my seat. You got to get up. I'm sorry. But nah, like, it's the same essence. Um, you know, things you pray for, you really have to make room for. It's like you work at a job that you don't really like, and you've been praying for a new job, but you ain't left your old job yet. So how is it that you're supposed to get your new job if you haven't even left your old job? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's having this lack of faith. It's having this spirit of fear, this lack of faith to like move on. It's okay to move on. It's okay to leave where you are and go to another level. It's okay to leave where you are and do something else. It's okay to do that. And for a while, for several months, probably actually a year now, I've been struggling with this ideology of leaving New York. And I think I've come to terms with it. Like, it's okay to move on because I've built so much in New York. I feel like it's a comfortable place. Like, it's the most uncomfortable place to live, but in all essence, for me, it was something that was comfortable, something that I know of. I mean, I know people who have been in relationships for years. It's what they know, it's what they're comfortable with. And like, we don't ever want to really leave where we're comfortable. But at the same right, like, where you're comfortable isn't always the right place for you to be. It's not always the proper place for you to flourish. It's like a plant that is planted in a little pot. After a while, the roots grow so big that it can't fit in that pot anymore, and it has to move on. Of course, it was comfortable because that's the pot it grew up in. Of course, it's cozy. It's like, man, this is the pot I grew up in. Like, I don't really want to leave, but I can't really fit in here no more. I don't really fit in here no more. What I have to offer can't really fit in here anymore. The fruit that I have to bear can't really bear in here no more. So you got to move to a different pot. So it's the same essence of life. Like, sometimes, it's time to move on. Decluttering your life, it's time to move on. It's time to go to a new pot so that you could bear the fruit that you're called to bear, wherever that may be for you. And I just wanted to talk about like stepping out on faith and stepping out on that boat, stepping out on the boat, it's like when Jesus told Peter to come out on the boat. It's like, come on, walk on water. Come to me. And he was scared, of course. He was scared. Of course, you're scared to step out there, to move on, to come out the boat that's comfortable. You're safe in the boat. But once you step out on that water, it's like, man, I'm either going to drown, I can't swim, I'm going to sink, and nobody's going to be able to catch me. But the beautiful thing about it is when you have faith and when you have the Spirit of God in you, and when God is leading you to go places and He's leading you to do things, you are okay. Like, God got you all the time. Like He said, He will never leave you or forsake you, ever. So when He's calling you to step out on water, when He's calling you to move on, when He's calling you to leave things, former things of the past in the past, and don't even look at them, like, just let it go. When He's telling you, hey, I have something better for you, I have someone better for you, I have another opportunity bigger and better for you that you can bear fruit in, you have to trust that. You have to learn to trust God. Like, you have to trust God and have peace knowing that He will never leave you, He will never forsake you, He won't ever leave you. He won't ever forsake you. He's never going to let you drown in that water. Like, he would never do that to you. And it's just about having the faith, having the courage, being bold and courageous enough to actually move on, to move on. Like if you tally up days, say somebody is heartbroken or is dealing with some type of pain in their life, if you tally up the days that people spend in that headspace of pain and that headspace of heartbreak, if you tally them up, sometimes it's thousands of days. And it's like you can't waste so many days, so much time on something that is over with. Especially things that are already dead. You gotta let them go, you know? And it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to just move on from things, but it's so essential. It's so essential to life to move on, to get to where you gotta go, to going to your next dimension, going to your next level, you know? And I just think sometimes we're not open to receiving these things that God has for us. We're not open to receiving. We're not open to receiving. But we're waiting on God, though. We have to be open to receive. So my message is short and sweet. Let go of things from the past, the things that don't really serve you anything good, nothing, the things that don't bring any joy, don't bring any happiness, don't bring any peace to you. You gotta just let them go because they're just taking up space in your life and in your heart, and you don't need that. You don't need that. And you may be stuck in a rut. You may be stuck in one place and you don't understand why you're not moving anywhere. You may just be stuck and you just can't figure out what it is that you're doing wrong. And you're praying, you're asking God for help. You're begging, you're begging. You're like, God, please do something. And then you don't understand that you have something blocking that receiving end, or you're not putting out the positive, the right things to say, because sometimes you got to call them things out on earth as it is in heaven, right? If it's on earth as it is in heaven, if you think of it that way, that means we could have heaven on earth. But why don't most people have heaven on earth? Because they live in hell in their minds. You got to change where you live at. You got to change how you move. You got to change the way you think. You need to change. It's a battlefield of your mind. And success begins in your mind. Success starts within your mind. It all starts within your mind. And sometimes you see some people where they have it all together on the outside, but they never took the time to work on the inside. They never took the time to feed their inner spirit. They never took the time to renew their mind, but they renewed their body. They went to the gym. They got fit. They went to the gym. They're like, I'm cut now. I got abs. Like, I'm fly. I'm showing stomach, all that. But their mind is still the same. So what does that serve? It serves nothing. If your mind, you know what I mean? It serves nothing. Like, your body could be bomb. Like, you could look good. I feel as though through transformations and things of these sorts, and it's very trendy and popular now. And like, I feel like the whole lifestyle, it needs to start within your mind first. You have to work on your mind before you start trying to work on your body. Because if you can't train your mind, you can't discipline your mind, how are you going to discipline your body in the right way so that it lasts? You know what I'm saying? Lasting results. So But, I'm not going to go in on that because that's a whole different topic. But I just feel like it's time for us to renew our minds, and you have to renew your mind daily, and you could just write down positive affirmations. What I do, I have a book, and I'm writing a book full of promises. And here's my little book, and I just have like scriptures that have the promises of God. Because if I catch myself and I'm not mentally on point of what's going on, and my mind is going left and I'm falling into negative thoughts, I'm falling into a place where it's not true, then I have to go back to the word. I have to go back to the promises of God, the positivity, because you have to constantly feed your mind positivity, because if you do not, this world will catch you. It will catch you and chew you all the way up, So we have to guard our minds and our hearts. And while you're guarding your mind and your heart, that means guarding your heart and your mind from certain people, from certain things, certain habits. If you know, say for example, if you don't really act right when you drink, then maybe you should just let that go. Move on from that. Move on from drinking with your friends. Move on from smoking with your friends. Because if you know that that's not really good for you, like it doesn't really serve no higher purpose for you, like you're not really the best you, when you're under the influence of certain substances, if you know that you're not the best you, or once you're around certain people, if you know that they don't bring out the best you, then you gotta go. They gotta go, and you gotta go from them. And maybe just be like, I mean, I'm the type. I'm not the type to cut people off, like, but low key, I will, you know what I'm saying, if I have to. And I am the type that will keep my distance from somebody if it doesn't really benefit me in any way. Like, if I can't pour into you and you can't pour into me, and we can't pour into each other to make sure that each other are growing and bearing fruit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about. I want a whole team and we're flourishing. We're bearing fruit. We got flowers and fruits over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that's what that's what an abundant life is about. You know? So surround yourself by people who pour into you and people that you can pour into. Change who you hang around. Not everybody is for you. And sometimes you have to get yourself out of certain situations that just are not for you, because those certain situations can be certainly blocking your blessings. They can also be a wall, a barrier, you know? And like the universe can't differentiate like negativity and positivity, and in a way where it's like, if you say what you don't want, that's what you're going to get. So don't even worry about talking about what you don't want. Just speak those things that you do want. Speak those things into existence and stay on that positive track. Stay on that positive track. It's just time to move on from negative thoughts. It's time to move on from negative people. Like, let's not do that anymore, because God called us to live an abundant life. He came so that we could have life and have it more abundantly. So just define what an abundant life to you is. And really, like, take the time to just think about the areas in your life where maybe people are not benefiting you. Like, people are not for you. Those people just don't really belong in your life. Like, think about those. Think about your job situation. Like, are you unhappy every day when you go to work? Like, that's not really how you should be living your life. I know we have to pay bills. I get that. Like, you gotta pay bills, you do, but that don't mean you have to be miserable. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't let the world brainwash you to believe that you have to be miserable in order to eat. How does that make, how do you think that's the life God wants you to live? Nah, you don't have to be miserable just so that you can eat. God will provide for you. He'll provide for you. You don't have to be miserable to eat. He wants to send down manna from heaven. You know, you don't gotta be miserable to eat. You don't have to be miserable. Life shouldn't be a miserable place, honestly. And I feel like it's people's state of minds that makes them miserable. So if you change your mind, then maybe you could find a different outlook on your job. It all starts within your mind. So let go of the negative thoughts, let go of the negative people, let go of the negative circumstances, because it's time to move on. It's time to move on from those kind of things and that kind of pain and that kind of lifestyle. Don't you want to live a better lifestyle? It's I think most people do. Most people do want to live a better lifestyle. Most people do seek that. Most people truly seek happiness. But really, people are seeking an abundant life. And whatever that means to you is what it means to you. Define what an abundant life means to you. And just take that time to do that. So I just thank you guys for watching the video. And thank you for supporting Beauty and Spirit TV. We're still talking about decluttering your mind, decluttering your life, getting your house in order, all of those things, because you know, seasons are changing, and if you not with it, you better get with it, because the seasons are changing and you gotta keep up with it. And we just want to send you a message, and we just want to, help you get to where you gotta go. Let's all just help each other get to where we have to go, honestly, because that's the only way we'll all stay encouraged. It's like, encourage each other, encourage your neighbor. Like, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You really can. Like, if you believe, then it can happen for you. Like, whatever it is that you're hoping for, whatever it is that you're dreaming for, whatever it is that you pray for, like, it can all happen for you. You just have to release certain things in your life and open your hands to it, open your mind to it, open your heart to it. Because we can say that we want something, but our hearts are really not open. We can say that we're ready for something, but our hands are not open. We can say that we're just ready for this one thing, but our mind is telling us, nah, you're not. It's the doubt and the fear and the negativity. It could be like, nah, you're not ready. So you have to tackle that first, because that's real. That's real. You might have a really great business idea, but because you're scared, because you're lacking faith, and because the doubt may come in, that you just don't even want to step out there and do it. So I just want you to know that you can do all things through Christ. And all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. Like, just believe in yourself, believe in God, and believe that God will set it up for you, and He will. And open up your mind and heart, because God is ready to bless you. He's waiting to bless you. He's just waiting for you. You're not waiting for Him. He's waiting for you, because guess what? God stay ready. God stay ready. Because when God's ready to move, He moves. Like, God stays ready. So we're not waiting on Him. So I wish, like, let's just stop. Let's keep it 100. Like, let's keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. Like, we're not waiting on God, because God stay ready. Period. God stays ready. It's us. We're the ones who are never ready. And we just trying to get ready. We trying to get ready. You got to get ready, honey. Get ready. Get ready, honey, because God is ready and He's waiting on you. Love you guys. Bye.